Well, it's sure been a while, hasn't it? What's it been like? 9 months since I last uploaded a video, and yeah, man, a lot's happened, to say the least, as I'm sure you'd expect from a 9 month hiatus. Yeah, so I guess the only thing I can say happened in terms of not uploading anymore was I became sort of I lost my way a little bit. I couldn't see I couldn't see my goal of what I wanted to do with posting on YouTube. I couldn't visualize the lifestyle that I wanted to live in, like with YouTube included. I couldn't imagine the life I wanted to live with uploading videos as part of that life. But after 9 months now, very, very recently, actually, I had the mad realization. I realized that I ultimately want to be a creator. Yeah, I want to make content, and I want to produce content that can help people help themselves. And obviously YouTube is going to be a massive part of that. It's a no-brainer for someone who wants to do that. But I just couldn't see it. I couldn't, like, with the kind of videos I was doing, I couldn't see myself making those videos for years to come. Because eventually a lot of the stuff, it becomes recycled, and you start to talk about the same thing over and over again. But after so long, I've missed it. I've missed making these videos and talking to you guys, and talking to you in the comments, and seeing my videos have a positive impact on you guys. I had people telling me in the comments that it wasn't necessarily the advice I was giving that was helping them, but it was the way I was speaking English was helping them learn English, and they found it fascinating. Like, that sort of thing is cool, because it's like you don't realize that you don't intend to do that, but it helps people in all sorts of ways. So I think posting content was what I wanted to do. I knew that. But with the way that social media is going, everything's tailored towards short form content these days, not so much longer videos, and it's harder to retain a person's attention through a longer video. Usually my videos are averaging around 10 minutes. But with everything on TikTok and Instagram being less than a minute now, it's like you need to work a lot harder to make people sit and watch a 10-minute video. Excuse me. But this is where the realization came in. I told myself, why does it matter what the trend is? Why does it matter, like, what the majority of people want to watch? Why does that have to be incorporated into what you want to do? And it doesn't. That's the truth. It doesn't. You don't need to sit and plan out your videos according to what the trend is. You just need to sit down, and you need to convey a message that's positive and is intended to help people. At least in my case, that's what I want to do. So for a long time I was like, oh, well, I can stop making YouTube videos and I'll start making gym content, short gym videos helping people in the gym, or like self-improvement in short form content and all that stuff. And I am going to do that. I've got a TikTok and a Instagram, both with decent followers. The Instagram has about 1.5 thousand followers, and the TikTok has about just under 15k followers. But I've never committed myself to them properly. I've sort of just been shit posting over a long period of time, and then just gained a few followers in the process. But the vision that I didn't have in the past, I have now. It's so clear now. The vision is to post longer videos on YouTube, talking to the camera like this to you guys, more in depth, going into deep dives in certain things, semen retention, gym, relationships, friendships, grinding, getting on your grind, whatever it is you want to achieve in life, that sort of thing. I want to sit down and talk for longer periods of time about that because I have a load of stuff to say. I've always had a bunch of stuff to say when it came to self-improvement. And then on the TikTok and Instagram, make it a bit more short form, a bit more flashy, a bit more like not so much talking to the camera, but more so getting some aesthetic videos, aesthetic shots of me lifting or cooking or running or doing something positive, and with the intent of sort of just inspiring people, like lighting a little spark in someone without talking to them. Like I'm sure you've been on social media and you've seen a video of a guy or girl doing something good for themselves, like training with some cool background music, and they're not saying anything, but the music and the content combined, they make you go, oh, I want to go train now. I want to go hit the gym, or I want to go cook a nice meal for myself, or that sort of thing. But the whole idea behind it is to just inspire people to improve their lives. That's the underlying goal. And that's what I realized after not posting for so long is, you don't need to worry about the trend or the music that's popping, or you don't need to, like, all these little details. You get lost in them so easily, and before you know it, you don't know what it is you want to do, that's what happened to me. But then I sort of pulled back a bit. I lifted my head out of the sand, and I just realized that fundamentally I just want to help people be better. So whether it's a long form content video like this or a 1 minute montage of me lifting, as long as I can inspire people to improve themselves, that's the main thing. So I'm happy to say that I'm glad to be back posting on YouTube. I haven't got a fixed schedule yet. I was in London 3 days ago, and I've flown back over to Sydney, and I'm going to be living here until the new year. So at the moment, I'm still settling back into living in Sydney. So I haven't got a fixed content plan yet. All I know is that I'm gonna post at least 2 or 3 times a week on this YouTube channel, and I'm gonna try and post a short video every day on my TikTok and Instagram. I think I've got a link to them in the bio of the channel, but yeah, just thought I'd come back and say hi again to all you guys. If there's anyone who wants to reach out and chat to me, just leave a comment. I'll be happy to reply to you, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys again very soon.